Hey, hey, hey. It is time for Manuscripts to Money, and we're doing this exclusively for right. Okay, so I definitely want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here, and thank you so much, Jamaica, for giving me the opportunity to show up and to invite me to be able to speak to your exclusive community of writers and authors. So I want to be able to share some marketing techniques with you that's going to help you be able to move the needle. So thank you again. I do absolutely appreciate it, and I am honored. And my prayer and goal is that you all get something out of this that you're able to take away and use tonight. That's right, tonight. We don't want to waste. So I started helping writers because everyone creates, but someone has to get the word out. Everyone has these things that they want to create, that they want to do, but there has to be someone saying, hey, hey, look over here. It's happening. Come over here. Let's go. And I enjoy being that person because not everybody can, right? Just like everybody can't write, everyone can't produce, or everyone can't be the one that gets the word out. So, quick question, drop in the chat. That's right, drop in the chat right now. What's one thing you've written that you're really proud of? Share with me one thing that you've written that you're really proud of. I have the chat box open, so I'll be watching to see that as they come through. And tonight we're talking about how to make your writing work for you. You had to work and toil to put it together. And so now we're going to talk a little bit about how you're going to be able to make the writing work for you. So, our goal is to equip you with a clear, simple framework to help you share your words more widely. That's a thing, more wide, and earn from what you've already created. It's not about doing everything, but it's more so about doing the right things to move with intention. Okay. And I'm sorry, I forgot to say, we're using a three-part framework that I've developed that we're going to walk you through growing. We're going to walk you through grow your audience, monetize your writings, and repurpose your work for long-term impact. So when it comes to there we go. When it comes to the framework that we're going to be using tonight, it's something that I've created, um, especially for you guys. It's right for visibility, right for profit, and then right for longevity. So we're going to walk through each part so you can see which one you're ready to learn next. Like which one you're ready to lean into next, which one you're going to feel most comfortable doing. Okay. And then, of course, at the end, we'll have a space for questions. So, when it comes to writing for longevity, or excuse me, when it comes to writing for visibility, what you're wanting to do is share your writing won't make an impact if it's hidden. So if nobody knows that you've written the best thing ever, or the thing that connects with them the most, or the thing that is, the thing, then they're not going to be able to connect with you. They're not going to be able to find it. So let's find ways to get in front of more eyes without you needing to go viral, because you don't have to go viral in order to be in front of, more people. And so, with that being said, that might mean you need to do readings at open mics, or you need to um, turn it into an Instagram caption. So you've already written something, and now you can chop it up and turn it into some Instagram captions. Maybe that is you publish a snippet or a portion of it on YouTube or Substack, or kind of make it like a magazine almost. Some other ways, the main thing when it comes to your visibility, the visibility creates the momentum. So what we want to do is make sure we're getting the word out and letting people know that this thing is happening, and it's happening over here. And this is either going to solve your existing problem or a problem that you're going to have in the future. But again, if people don't know that you have this best thing ever, they're not going to know that you're the solution to the problem that they're currently experiencing. So you want to show up in different places in order to actually make that happen. So V is the first part of our three parts uh, of our three-part framework that we're looking at tonight. Next is our right for profit. Now, I do see some new people just popped into the room. If you have any questions while we're going along, drop them in the chat. I'll try to answer it while we go, but I'll absolutely make sure we touch on it at the end. So we have a three-part framework that we're walking through. It is not a problem. Everyone's going to get access to the replay as well as the ebook that I promised once everything is over. But so you're going to be able to watch it all from the beginning and then stop and pause and do all the things. So that is absolutely fine. So writing for profit. Now, many of you don't write for profit or don't write with money in mind, right? You're writing because there's something in your heart that needs to be shared, or there's someone that needs the information that you have. You see a space for it and a need for it and a desire for it, or maybe God just pressed it on your heart. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're writing saying, okay, well, how am I going to be able to make money from this when I sit down to write? You're writing with a mission and a purpose. And that's absolutely fine. But let's be honest about it. And your gifts deserve compensation. There's plenty of people who have gifts and they're compensated for it. And that can be you too as well. So you can package your words into paid offers. And that could be journals, which I know Jamaica has quite a few of those. It could be ebooks. So maybe you just turn the book into a PDF and you're selling it that way. And it also could be merch. So maybe that's putting the slogans on t-shirts or mugs or maybe bags or pins, and you can sell the merchandise that has that particular slogan on it, maybe even bracelets. And so when other things that you're able to do with your writings to make paid offers, they could be teachings, they could be courses, they could be freelance gigs. So you're showing up and you're writing in that vein for different magazines or maybe different organizations that need support or they are interested in the particular topic that you have at hand. The key is to make it accessible and it's aligned. Okay. So I have a client and she's been teaching on a thing for the longest of time. She can talk to you one-on-one about the thing. She can go and do a course about the thing. She has a conference that she does every year. And every year we say, come on, you need to write this down. This needs to be in a book. And she hasn't done it. So last month she had her conference, and that was the first year that my schedule was free and I was able to go. I went to the conference. I recorded all of her audio. And what did I do? I turned it into a book. And then I didn't just do a book. In the same sitting, I went ahead and turned that same book into a journal. And then I turned that same journal and book into an activity workbook. So they all support each other. It's the same exact content, but now she has three books that she could sell electronically, or if she wanted to get them printed, she can sell that way. In addition to this, the court, she has the conference that she does. So all of those things kind of work together. It's the same exact information, but we turned it around and we three times it, right? So it's adding that additional value and finding ways to increase the profitability of what it is that you're sharing. Hopefully that makes sense. And that's something that I absolutely love doing, finding different places that we can set up to generate some additional income from it. So don't let your writings be a one and done moment. You need to write for longevity. So repurpose your content, repurpose your writing. If you do prayers, repurpose your prayers, put them all in a book and put some pages behind it so people can write with them. And now we have a journal. Don't allow them to be one and done moments. Use pieces and turn it into a series. Or maybe you turn the poems into affirmations. Maybe we take one short story and it can become a workshop. It's not about creating more content and figuring out, well, what am I going to write next? Or what am I going to I wrote a play and maybe I need to write another play. No, why don't you take that one play and turn it into other things that complement that initial play? It's the same information. Oh, I wrote a song. Well, now that I wrote a song, I'm gonna take that same information and turn it into a book. or finding ways to make it to have it longevity, right? To increase the longevity of it. So it's about doing more with what you've already created. You've already done the work. There's no need to go and try to have another thinking campaign to figure out what's next or what's the next thing you're going to do. Just go ahead and increase and double down on what you've already done. Now, this is one thing that, Wester, I want to tell you that used to get my goat every time. When I was a child, my mom used to love to repeat herself. Let me turn my camera on and stop the share. Because when I tell you, let's there we go. So my mom used to love to repeat herself. She tell you the same thing over and over. I'll be like, I heard you the first time. I heard you the first time. I even did it. I wrote it down. Why you telling me again? And so, but by her repeating it over and over and over and over, the longevity was there, right? So I remember, I knew every summer there was three things that she was going to tell us to clean while she was at work: the living room, the bathroom, the kitchen. When she come home, she wants the living room, bathroom, and kitchen. She want to clean every day. I already know that, but she would say it over and over and over and over. And she would say it before she leave the house in the morning. She would call us and remind us to do it. She would tell us at night before she get up in the morning to leave. Like, so she would say it over and over. By her constantly repeating it to us, what did that do? That gave it longevity. It drilled down inside of us that, okay, there's three places she gonna want us to clean. And I already know she want the bathroom to smell a certain kind of way. And she don't want any dishes in the sink. So because she continued to repeat it. So the same thing is true when it comes with your writings and the things that you've put together. You've written something and you need to reinforce it to people that this concept or this thing, exactly the same living room, same bathroom. So you need to reinforce the concept or the thing that you've written. And how do you go about doing that? Yeah, you can read the same book over and over, but find other ways to say the same exact message in different ways. Okay, so that's what's going to help increase the longevity of what it is that you're sharing. Okay, now back to our scripts. You don't need to do all 29 of the things that's going to be in the playbook that you're going to get tonight. You just need to plan. You just need a plan that works for you. Your time, it needs to work for your energy, it needs to work for your season. Today, this season in, you might be able to do 950 things, but you know when the summertime comes, you might only be able to do two things because you have extra people that they want to experience your greatness. So just because you can't do something today doesn't mean you can't do it in the future or vice versa. And you determine what strategy you want to focus on. The goal is to focus on it and dig deep into it, to repeat it over and over and to go forth with it. Okay? So strategy is about choosing. It's not about doing all the things. Oh, I want to do everything. I want to be on all the social media platforms. Well, if you're on all the platforms, can you execute on all the platforms? Because if you can't, you're only driving yourself nuts and bonkers trying to keep up with it all. It's better to be in one place, to be consistent with it, and to show up so that way you don't get stressed out and start looking like these ladies. Okay. So tell me, you can put it in the comments if you want. Which one of these have you ever looked like? Like, which one have you felt what they feeling? Did you look like Lisa? You at the computer trying to work hard, trying to make all the things happen. Right. You over here looking like Squidward. You're like, I just can't. I just can't. I can't. Not all of them. Look like Mona Lisa. I'm just so tired. The bags under your eyes. You didn't comb your hair, or you combed your hair. Now it looks frazzled because you just been working so hard. Or maybe you just decided to start fussing and drinking and doing all the things. This is what happens when we try to do more than what was given to us, or more than you're trying to function in more of a space that wasn't designed for you to function in. Don't stress yourself out. Just operate in your strategy that works for you and do the things that you need to do. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Graduate school, nurse practitioner, mom. Oh yeah. Uh-huh. All the way fed up. That's exactly what it is. Well, this is absolutely my free gift to you. The Publish and Paid Playbook includes 29 different creative ways to profit from your writing, and it's going to build momentum over time. So use it like a creative menu. You're going to open up this playbook and you're going to try maybe one of them. Maybe you try two of them. So you're going to figure out how you can feel aligned with them and do the thing that works. You want to commit to something and kind of walk through it and do the thing. Now, in addition to the playbook that I'm going to share with you, you're also going to get access, of course, to the replay for this. So you can start it from the beginning. You can watch all the things. You can review the three-part framework that we talked about. Bef uh, oh yeah, okay, there we go. If tonight's lesson or session helped, then the next step is the Visibility Explosion membership. So you get a monthly playbook, accountability, and ongoing support. And because you're a part of the Right Now community, I have a special writing rate just for you. I'm going to put the link in the chat. You can find it over at monicamichelles.com. And the visibility membership, exposure membership, is going to give you that playbook once a month. And with the playbook, we're going to be covering a different strategy every month in great detail. That playbook is going to give you the templates that you need or suggested templates that you need, swipe files. It's going to tell you the name of all the programs you can use, the free ones and the paid ones. Ideally, it's going to have the ones that I've used or that I currently use so you can be in the know and you can get support. Then we're going to have an exclusive Q&A call once a month. And with that Q&A call, we're going to be able to answer any questions that you have when you try to implement, or we're going to kind of walk through it. And like I said, you get the special rate because you are a part of the Right Now community and you are a member here. So I love to connect a little bit more beyond tonight. So you can DM me on practically any social media platform at Monica Michelle S. And we can certainly chat a little bit more. But before we do, and don't forget tonight, don't forget, check your email. You'll get the replay, you'll get the playbook. But I definitely want to continue to build your visibility journey together with you. I want to be able to do that with you. So, what questions do you have about what we covered tonight? That three-part framework that kind of dived a little bit into how you can do more with your writings. We can, if you want to come off camera and chat, we can. If you want to just unmute, if you want to type, all of the things and above are absolutely fine. You tell me. Not no questions. It was good. That's what it was.
Hey Monica,
Hey, hey, hey.
I'm driving, so I could let me see. Yeah. My question is or was you referenced the young lady that you assisted her with how did you say it? You said you took what she had and you made it like I can't remember what you said.
Oh, yes.
Um
She did a conference and she always talked to people about it. So she's been doing a conference. And I went to her conference, got all the audio. I turned it into a book. Then I turned it into a journal. And then I turned it into a workbook, like an activity like Mad Libs, to kind of reinforce it. So she has three books now.
okay, so my question was gonna be, do you assist with that process or you give recommendations for what we already have? And then we're like warm handoff to whoever.
Yeah. So with some people, they just want to kind of brainstorm and figure out what they can do next, and maybe they want to do it themselves. Absolutely fine. I put this slide up because this is what it was referring to, writing for longevity, in case anybody wanted to be reminded of what we're talking about a little bit more. So yeah, if you just want to have, I like to call it idea mapping or managing your ideas or, managing that. So sometimes people want to just sit down and we just need to kind of flesh out what's realistic to do and how to go about doing it. So we do that. But then if you want to say, yes, I need you to just do it for me because I have no idea. Yeah, we can go ahead and do that as well. So I can absolutely help with it.
Okay, thank you. And then my last question is, do you do audiobook?
I haven't done any audiobooks, but I would absolutely, it's on my agenda for this quarter to dive into. I have some tools that I'm used to and that I'm familiar with.
Mm,
So I want to put them in play and put some audiobooks out. So yeah.
okay, thank you. Those are my two questions.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And so once I put out that first audiobook, what I'll end up doing is the membership that we were just talking about a moment ago. I'm going to say, okay, great. Here's all of what I use. This is how it worked. This is the whole layout. So you'll know what systems to use, what platform to use, how to do all the things. So that
Thank you.
you're welcome. You're welcome. That's something we'll absolutely be covering. So, okay, Crystal said that's something she's interested in as well. I write a lot of prayers and many people want to listen to them. I absolutely love audiobooks. Absolutely love it. So I do have a mailing list. And since all of you registered for the class tonight, you'll be on that mailing list and you'll be able to get access to just any updates and when new things are coming out. Um, so yeah, that's that part of it. Any other questions? But I would love to help you all with that. So just let me know if I can be of support. And meanwhile, my last slide is I want everyone to remember that you don't have to be famous to be published and paid. A lot of people publish, but not a lot of people get paid from their publishing. And you don't have to be famous to do both. You just need a strategy, consistency, and the right support. You've already done the hardest part, and now it's time to build on top of it. Do I have recommendations for publishing process? Yep, I absolutely do. I'm actually partnered with a publisher. So I can share that. That actually I shared on my email list. So you'll be able to get access to that. In the membership, so the monthly membership that we were talking about before, that you all get access to it at a reduced rate, a special writing rate. There's a once a month playbook that you'll get. And so the playbook, I'm going to tell you this is how I've published books, and I'll give you the one, two, three of how I went about doing it. And there's actually quite a few different ways to write the book and publish it or whatnot. And then I'll also say, okay, and this is the medium that I use to publish it. Like I'm going to walk you through it. And sometimes, depending on how, because I've written manuals and stuff in the back in the day. So if something is difficult to explain, maybe I'll record a short video to go with it so you can actually see me clicking the buttons to move around to where you got to go, right? But the goal is to make sure that whichever strategy we're covering that month, that you can execute on it immediately. And then we'll have that Q&A session so we can talk about it if there's some place that got hung up or something like that. Any other questions?
Yes, it's me again. So, great because the avenue that I utilize for publishing for if they wanted to work with me directly is only through Amazon. So what you're saying is if that is not a route or they want an additional route, I can directly send them to you and you can navigate. And I'm only asking because the majority of the authors they've self-published, but I have three that said they're ready. But the people that I've referred them to, which I've utilized in the past, are dropping the ball. So
Mhm.
I have to have a new updated list of individuals that can assist my people that I'm not, I'm going by verbally. They're saying they're ready, but
Yeah.
they may need proofreading or they may need a cover, and I don't do any of that. My main responsibility is to push them to completion, and then if they want to go that route. But even editing, like proofreading, that's not my thing. So I was just asking, I could just refer them directly to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I don't personally edit, but I do know editors. And so I didn't know that you were walking people through publishing for KDP or on Amazon. And so I'll make sure I include you as a reference point. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Because the publisher that I deal with, she doesn't publish through KDP for people anymore. I don't know why she decided not to do it anymore, but she doesn't. And so in return, it's always great to have more than one avenue to be able to share, people's contact information with. And so that'll be great. But yeah, as far as editors are concerned, I'll definitely share those references. There's some marketing that I do not do. And so, yeah, I can put some stuff on Pinterest, for example, but I'm not like a pro at Pinterest. So I'll tell you what I know, But what I'll also do is say, you need to go see the Pinterest lady, she over here, and I'll give you that referral. And so it's the same way with all the other marketing things that we're going to be covering through the visibility explosion. So when it comes to writing the book or editing or whatnot, if I haven't used it, or if I'm not a pro at it, or if I'm not really, really good at it, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, do it this way, forget all the other stuff. No, I'm going to give you the different options. I'm going to say, this is one way you can edit. This is how some people edit. And then I'm also going to say, but this person over here, she's an editor, so she know all the editing stuff. So I'm going to give you all of the tools that I have access to and that I've utilized. What other questions do we have? Hmm? Okay. Well, I hope this was insightful. Did you learn anything new? Is there anything that you're interested in doing? Um, Tell me more about what did you learn? What do you think you can implement? Any aha moments, maybe? No? While you're thinking and writing that, I will let you know that yes, as far as the referrals of different people, those will be in the membership. Right now, because of the special rate that you all have access to, it's $12 a month. You can cancel whenever you want to. For everyone else, right now it's being offered at $27 a month, and the plan is for it to increase by the end of the month. So it's going to be even a higher rate because I'm literally giving you play by play uh, the psychology behind why it's done this way and how to do it and all the different little tactics to get it done, as well as like a little checklist. And I'm giving you, if you want to send DMs to people, where here's the different types of DMs you can send. Oh, you want to pitch to be a speaker? Well, here's how you can pitch to be a speaker. Here's how you can find the people so you can figure out who to pitch to. So all those details of those things, they're going to be absolutely covered in the membership. So that is that. I've even worked with clients who said, "Oh, well, I need to get a radio pitch. I need to get press releases and radio drops done. So how do I find the radio stations? Okay, great. This is how you gonna do it. This is how we did it in the past, and this is how we made it go. Would it go? People have asked me, how do we do press releases? I've done press releases that end up on TV, or the news stations picked them up and things like that. There's a strategy behind doing those things. And so I'm going to share all the things. Okay, so you say you have some questions, but you're finishing up at work. Okay, well, you can either type them, or if you want, you can send me a DM, or you can email me later. Um, I've been, how long have I been doing marketing? So I realized that when God told me that marketing is what I do, that was the name for it, I discovered that I had been doing marketing my whole life and didn't know that it was called marketing. Had no idea. And so what was happening was, and that was well over 20 years ago, when I learned that, oh, I do marketing. Everybody doesn't think this way. Everybody's not doing this. And so I was growing up, I was always around a lot of leaders or people that were starting things or people that were creating events and things like that. And so they would create the event, they get the program together, they're doing all the stuff. And then I was like, okay, great, you did that, but we can't do this next week. Like, people need time to put this in their schedule. And what if they have something else going on? And so it was like, we need to give it some time to breathe. And later on, about 20 years ago, is when God dropped it on me. He's like, okay, what you do is marketing. So I started studying marketing. So I've been doing marketing my whole life. I've been doing it full time in my business, Monica Michelle Marketing. I've been doing it for about 6 years now. And so I absolutely love it. And I have a group of clients that I work with. Primarily, most people want to do social media marketing. Some people want me to do the whole thing. Some people just want me to run their ads. Some people want me to teach classes, which I love doing as well. So I try to teach classes and share. But I figured the Visibility Explosion membership would be the ideal place where you can get it at a reduced rate, where I'm giving you all the things once a month, and you don't have to hunt me down for the class, or the class is like $79, or whatever the case may be. You're getting it at a consistent rate, and then we have that time of answering questions. So hopefully that was helpful. And let's see, how do I stay current with information that I'm sharing. Is there an accreditation or continuing education? So I say current, how do we say this? Yes, I have taken classes and courses so I can stay current about what's going on in the market. However, those courses and things like that, they're many times they're coming out after something has been in the market, tried and true, and been working for a period of time. So, in addition to taking these courses, I'm also in small groups with other marketers like myself. And so we are, a lot of them are social media marketers, some are, marketers for churches, like we're all in different areas and spaces, but we all focus on marketing. And so when we're out doing things, if we run into hiccups, we ask the community, hey, have y'all noticed this? I'm trying to figure out how to do this and this isn't working anymore. And then we all kind of network and hash it out together. At the same token, there's plenty of times where, for example, Instagram will change, Facebook would change. And when these changes happen, they don't always announce it. So they don't announce their change first, they implement the change first. And so we as people that are doing marketing on social media, we see that okay, when I used to put this up, it wasn't getting a lot of traction and now it's getting a lot of traction or vice versa. I used to make these posts and they would get tons of traction and now they're not getting traction anymore. So then we go over in the group and we be like, "Hey, have y'all been experiencing this?" And people say yes, no, whatever. And then we'll start to dissect it and figuring out what is going on. So, community and having that space of like minded people to me is the biggest space to go and pull that information. So, how big is the community that we're with? I have one that is about 30 of us. And then there's another one there's thousands of us in the room. I mean, thousands of us in the room. And I've been in that community for about 6 or 7 years now, but it's about thousands of us. Every time I look in, it's, yeah, like it's pretty big. And so we try to go back and forth and have that conversation and just keep up on things. Hey, you saw Zuckerberg just put out a new video. He said this, but what do you think it really means? Well, what he said doesn't match up with what's happening. And like we have these dissecting of marketing moments that we love to do because we just all love marketing and we get geeked out about it. So that's that. Any other questions for me?
Hey, I'm sorry.
No
I'm
problem.
asking in between stops.
You're
Um,
good.
would you say from your experience that it's easier for you to work with a client from conception to, okay, so I'll just use me personally. I don't want to make it vague. So if I have a book and I say, okay, I know this is coming out in May or June, is it usually easier for you to say, okay, you know this part, but let's make the plan from this day moving forward? Or is it usually like, okay, I've tried this, I've tried that, I'll lay out what I've tried, and then you say, okay, well, how about this for implementation? Like, what do you think is usually has shown most success for the route? You know, if we come at conception and we know this is to come, or hey, this is work, but I need more something to, get it more momentum. If I said that good.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
From what I believe you're asking me, correct me if I'm wrong, you're asking, is it better for me to work with someone from conception, like Jump Street, or is it cool to kind of come in the middle and which one generally yields a better result? And I'm going to say hands down, it's coming in from conception. So if you're saying I'm having a thought about something and then I'm like, oh, okay. And so then as you're fleshing this idea out, and generally we have like a strategy session or a mapping session, and as you're building this idea out, then we're like, okay, so since you're doing this and this is what you want it to look like, the outcome, then maybe you should include some of this over here. Oh, you're writing a book and the book is about this, but you have like a whole empire with you. Okay, great. Well, while you're writing the book, include in the different chapters how else people can get in touch with you. Include in the chapters that they can buy another book that you've already written that speaks to this particular place. So as opposed to you've already written the book is done, it's been edited and all that, and now you're like, okay, great, can you help me market it? Well, I can. It's not that I can't, but what's happening is that book is now a one-time wonder, as opposed to if we talked in the beginning, then you could have added all those little touches on as it went along. Does that help?
Yes, it does. So basically, what you're saying is I'm considering my manuscript done, but if I would like to maximize on your marketing, what you look at it.
Yeah, absolutely. I could take a peek at it and recommend plugging some places in. There's also just some like generic things that you can plug in, like I said, referring people back to other books. So when you know what other books you already have, and
Right.
so maybe chapter 5 kind of refers to another concept of a book that you've already written. So in return, in chapter 5, just add some additional information that speaks to chapter 5. The lady who just did her conference, and then we turned it into a book, and then we did the journal, and then we did the activity book, because I knew before we started writing her book that we were going to do the journal and we were going to do an activity book. I went ahead in all three of the books and refer it to each other. So as we were writing out the regular book, we said, if you need more help with this and you want to dive into the activity, then make sure you grab the activity book. Does that make sense? Like we just went ahead because we already knew off gate this wasn't just a one book. This was going to be a series of books.
Okay. No, that makes perfect sense. I have one in process. It's called Grace Transition. And as I was writing, I was like, this is going to be a workbook
Yep.
also because
Yep.
it's like you can do this, read this, do this workbook with this book, or you cannot do it. But, that's on pause. But
Right.
okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think her journal, she wanted to make sure that her journal could be turned into a challenge. So if her journal's a challenge, which now she has a fourth or a fifth product because she has the conference, the regular book, the journal book, the activity book, and now we said, okay, we got a challenge. So we said, okay, let's take the challenge. Since we know that the journal can be used with the challenge, then let's make sure we don't say chapters for the journal. Let's call them sessions, because some people may want to do this in 8 days and some people may want to do it in 8 weeks. And that way it maps up with the challenge. It's kind of,
Okay.
yeah. So it's just changing the language, but it's because we were marketing up front and we said, okay, how can we maximize our marketing moments?
Okay.
So
I got you. Thank you.
you're welcome. Well, you're welcome. So yeah, I can certainly take a peek at it and make some recommendations and some suggestions, and then maybe even help you build those other suggestions and activities out. Or some people just say, no, I want to do it myself. How experienced are you with yet to be known writers? I would say most of the people I've worked with are yet to be known. Either they're idealists, have the ideas and the conceptions, but they haven't executed on them yet, or they're trying to figure out how to write the book because or how to write whatever the thing is, because like maybe it feels like it's a daunting task to write it. So then we say, okay, great, here's some other creative ways on how we can write this book and get it done with. So a lot of the people that I work with, they are either in the beginning phases or they're on maybe they're up to their third book. I had a first time author that we published, maybe it was 2 years ago. He was a first time author. He wrote his book. He went to a publishing company. When it was done, he got with me and said, hey, can you help me? We turned it into a workbook. And then he was an Amazon bestsellers list when it released. So he was really excited about that. And we were able to kind of like put together a strategy to help make that happen. So most of the people that I'm working with, they are newer writers. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. And I myself am a newer writer also. So I've written 2 or 3 books. And so we're about to get those put up and I'll be able to share those. But yeah, we'll absolutely share those in the membership. They'll probably get first dibs at it at no cost or something like that. And then, of course, we'll share it with everybody on the email list. So even if you don't join the membership, you'll be in the know and you'll have access. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Congratulations from Jamaica on the road. So I do appreciate it. Hopefully, this class was helpful and it made sense. So the next time you go to do some writing, think about the 3-part framework. Let me share the screen one more time. Do. Writing for visibility, writing for profit, and writing for longevity. So make sure you keep those things in mind when you sit down to write, whatever that writing looks like. But I hope you all enjoyed. And thank you so much for the questions. So, writing for longevity, that's what we were talking about. So, we just did this. At the end of this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it down. I'm going to chop out the questions that you all were asking, and we're going to help turn those into social media posts. We're going to repurpose writing for longevity. And then I might find some way to include it in a book later down the road because the content has already been made, right? So let's write for longevity. Hopefully, you all have a good evening and all this you found helpful. And I look forward to talking to you more inside of the group. Right now, right. Have a good night.